Well, hello there, everybody. This is the Comedy Thief, and guess what? You're watching.
Funny old guys.
That's what you're doing. You probably wonder why we flail our arms around,
Yes, we do.
and it makes the
Because we
video.
can still.
Why do we do it?
Yeah.
Because we can still.
Oh, well, it's our video. We can do whatever the hell we want to do, right?
Within reason.
Anyway, this is not a joke-a-thon. This is a special segment called Just Bantering. We're going to shoot the breeze. But first, say hello to our audience, Dr. Fatpacker.
Well, guten Tag, everybody. So nice that you're with us today. You know, you probably have heard me say this before. Well, now say it again. We have
Indeed,
fun.
and below me is the senator from the great state of Utah. Say hello there, buddy. You're in the fog a little bit. Is it foggy where you are?
It's very foggy. It's a little foggy mountain breakdown up here. So
Are you in London town?
I am in London town, and I'm going to be going there again soon.
Really? That's wonderful.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I need to tell you about London. So
Well, there you go. Let's move on. We're going to banter, and we're going to talk about donuts, which is a very strange subject. Did you hear about the guy who went in to get? Wait, we're not supposed to tell jokes. But anyway, the
go
greasy
ahead, tell
spoon,
a joke.
the greasy spoon guy said to the customer, "If you think this is bad, how we make our hamburgers, you ought to see
Yeah.
the way we make our donuts." But
Oh my
you eat donuts?
Donuts were the bane of my existence when I worked for Tops Markets. Oh my goodness. They had a convenience store right next to one of the places where I had to deliver the mail for them.
Yeah.
When I'd stop there every day buy at least 2 donuts. Oh, it jumped me up in weight like you wouldn't believe. Oh,
But donuts are a beautiful thing. They've come out with a brand new no-calorie donut.
oh, really?
Really?
And what is it called?
Well, I have no idea, but you throw the donut away and you eat the whole. That's what you do. But, Cadillac.
But
Any of you guys ever
well,
own
you know,
a Cadillac? What?
I had this thing. I used to, eat a lot of. Well, let's go on. Cadillac is good. Okay.
Well, how about
I
donuts?
was going to
in
talk about
Cadillac?
donuts some more, but I think we're probably done with donuts. I mean, I had a police officer pull me over once. He said, your eyes look red if you've been smoking pot, and I said, your eyes look glazed. You've been eating donuts, but
That's when you got arrested. Well, I used to drive Cadillacs, used late model Cadillacs, and it was kind of a prestige thing.
Oh, really? What do you drive now?
I drive a Chrysler 300 four-door
Ooh,
sedan,
ooh.
white and lovely, right?
I used to drive a Cadillac. Well, I drove the boss's Cadillac over to get it washed and brought back to the office, but that was the extent of it.
Well, the last time
Cadillac.
what?
Cadillac used to be the status symbol. I mean, oh, he drives a Cadillac. That used to be, and that's not so much the case anymore. I don't think.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I had Cadillacs, but my doctor said not yet. Oh,
I always think of the Billy Joel song, the "Moving On." We're gonna Cadillac.
move on.
You oughta.
We're going to talk about hair growth pills.
Okay.
Glenn.
Well, yeah, right. Well, I haven't found anything that really worked, and all I can say is that I realized that I was going bald. I was going bald at a pretty young age. I realized I was going bald when it took me longer to wash my face.
Wait a minute.
Oh, how about you? Well, you got a ton of hair, you dirty dog.
I still do have. I mean, it's recessing a little bit, but not as much as you guys. Of course, you keep yours hidden underneath your hat there. So
there's something called Rogaine. I put it on my head, and you're supposed to massage your head every day for about 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Well, I thought it didn't work, but it did work because after about 30 days, there were hundreds of little tiny hairs coming out of my fingers. Oh, and then we move on to beer. That's
yeah, I gotta love some beer. I don't
drink beer
anymore. Only when I go out someplace. Sometimes I'll have one, or if I'm going to like play cards with the guys, I'll have one beer. But other than that, I've got a beer in my refrigerator that's been there for probably eight months.
Wow. Well, Senator Glenn, I know you like to experiment with all kinds of beers.
Well, I do like my craft beers, but I'm always afraid of my final last words are going to be, here, hold my beer. Now watch this.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Right.
Okay. All right. Carpet. We probably can't get anything funny out of carpet.
Well, I
You
don't
think
know.
it-
The last date I had was with a guy wrapped up in a carpet.
Ooh. Do you have any carpet info? Anything that's hilarious? I don't.
we can't get anything out of carpet because they stain, and then it's hard to get it out. But
No, that's right. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how come your dog never takes a crap in the kitchen,
Yeah.
but always on your carpeting?
Good question.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. You
So
got
anyway,
more for us?
speaking of that, I'm going to pass over barf because we just already talked about barf. Oh no, we didn't talk about barf. That's a cat.
Yeah.
You guys barf often?
Well, I was watching believe it or not, my wife loves to watch these cooking shows,
Yeah.
and one of the judges on one of these cooking shows once was Weird Al Yankovic, the singer
Yeah.
comedian. Yeah, and he had to judge whatever dessert or cake the woman made, and he said, "Your cake made me want to throw up, so I could taste it all over again."
Oh,
Oh,
That was very funny.
that's pretty clever. Yeah.
do you barf often, Doctor?
Never barf. The last time I barfed was when I was stationed on Guam, and every time I turned around, there was another Genesee beer in front of me, and I drank that. When I went back into the barracks, and oh my goodness, it was the first thing ever. Oh,
That's exciting.
Genesee beer in Guam?
yeah, I
that-
was surprised too. It was those real small bottles of it that they
Yeah,
had. I'm
that's
going,
crazy.
oh my goodness. Well, that'll tell you when I was there too. It was a
Yeah.
long
Well, anyway.
time ago.
Well, I'm
Enough of
sure that a
this.
lot of people that watch our videos know a lot about barfing. So
Yeah.
There's
Ooh, ow.
the technical
I
term
think
is
we just got
vomiting,
burned
right?
on that one.
Technical term is vomiting, but then there's
Oh, okay.
there's barfing.
regurgitation.
There's what?
Oh, yeah, there you go. Regurgitation is good too.
Oh, regurgitation, and there's also hurling,
Yeah.
which is a sport up in Canada.
I think that's curling, but close
Oh,
enough.
never mind. Okay, moving on to funeral. Have you guys got? In fact, we talked about it before our video started.
Yeah.
We're getting a little long in the tooth, gentlemen, and death is inevitable. Do you have anything with your funeral set? Hello?
Well, anyway, so then I want to give my cell phone to a friend of mine so that when I die in the coffin there and they start to put me away, I wanted him to email or text everybody and say, thank you for coming.
Oh, well, we talked
I was
about
gonna do the same thing, but I was gonna text, let me out of here.
Yeah.
we talked about before we videotaped this, Senator Glenn, about donating your body to science. You want to do that?
I don't think they'd want my body. I don't,
You can't find anything useful in it anymore.
I can't think of very much that's useful anymore. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
My body lies over the ocean. Never mind. Okay. Last item, I think. I will check the clock here, but elementary school. We used to call it grade
Ooh.
school. Do you remember anything
Grade
about elementary school?
When my daughter, when my wife, I'll get this straight.
What the hell? Come on.
When my wife took my
Sounds
daughter.
like you're from West Virginia.
Yeah.
My daughter, my wife. This is whatever.
Go ahead.
It took her over to elementary school.
Wait a minute, who'd you take?
Preschool. It was a preschool type thing. When my wife came home and she was almost in tears. I said, what's wrong? She says, she showed her all these pictures to see if she knew what the pictures were. I said, so what was wrong with that? So she didn't recognize the vacuum cleaner.
Oh,
I'm going, she said, well, that was an upright and we've got a canister one,
Senator Glenn, do you remember anything about grade school?
I don't remember too much, but one crazy thing, it's not really funny, but I remember going in one day in kindergarten.
Yes.
We had a substitute teacher, and she was young, much
Ah,
younger than our regular teacher, and she had us sitting around a circle, and she said, "Hey, let's discuss what was on television last night." This was a Monday morning,
yes.
because what was on the night before were the Beatles on Ed Sullivan.
Well, there you go.
Ah,
Isn't that crazy?
That was
I remember that. That's
uh-huh.
Well,
Very
anyway,
cool.
we're done and we're out of here. We want to thank you very much for being a part of our twice a week videos, and we're going to see you a little bit. Oh, wait a minute. We invite a famous celebrity to be on our very next video, don't we, guys?
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Of course we do. So anyway, this celebrity for our next week's video, very famous, well respected, a gentleman in every respect. We're going to invite Walter Cronkite, the news anchor for NBC, to be our very next video. So Walter, we want you to check in at funnyoldguys@gmail.com. What?
Excuse me, comedy thief, but I don't know where you do your research,
Yeah.
but
What?
Walter Cronkite has passed away.
Wait a minute. You mean he's dead?
Jawohl.
Oh, no.
He's dead, and you are there.
Well,
Whoa,
we
yeah,
can't invite.
yeah.
All right, we got to fill in the gap here, though. Who do we know named Walter? Walter Brennan.
Walter,
No.
oh,
Walter Brennan.
Walter, no.
Walter. Oh, all right. Who do we know named Walter Cronkite? I know the answer to that one.
Nobody alive, obviously.
Nobody alive, and we don't.
Walter
we,
Matthau. Oh, that's another one. I don't know.
Oh,
we don't have time to
yeah,
do
right.
research on the Cronkite family. So
Walter Mitty? Is
the,
that
well,
what
the
that-
bottom line is we're
No,
inviting
he-
nobody to be on our very next video. That's the end of it. So,
Well-
Dr. Fatpacker, say goodbye and farewell to our video audience.
Tschüss, ne? Take good care of yourselves. Listen, before you go, if you would do us a big favor, go down to the bottom, down, there's a little rectangle there.
Somewhere.
Subscribe. That would be very nice. We'd appreciate it. Oh, and if you have some friends, of course, that you would like them to share in all the laughter, because that would be fun, you send us an email at funnyoldguys@gmail.com, and we will send you one of these fancy dancy business cards, and it has our YouTube address on the bottom, and you could pass them out to your friends, and everybody could laugh with us there.
That would be a beautiful thing. And Senator Glenn from the great state of Utah, did you get reelected?
No, I did not. So,
Ooh, God.
Oh,
yeah.
For our
So
next
I'm-
video, do we have to take the name Senator off your name, or
Well,
what?
I'm going to run for a dog catcher. So,
all right. Well, we'll keep keep us
Okay.
updated on that.
That's hilarious. If we had more time, we could make it hilarious, couldn't we?
well, I don't.
Well,
I don't know.
all right, everybody wave goodbye. Everybody wave goodbye. We'll see you all down the road.